Hey, so today we wanted to talk about why biohacking is so important because without biohacking, you really are missing out on some of the opportunities that you can use to better your life and better your situation. So, ideally, when it comes to biohacking, you want to look at the possibilities that you can utilize to help yourself when it comes to long term health. So, one of the best ways that I like to look at this is surround myself with people who are in the know. So if you can get yourself around people who are educated on some of the topics that you really like and really respond to, you're in a good place. You're in a good situation. So a lot of that focus could be on first trying to find a community of people. That's why I like Facebook groups. Facebook groups are international. You can connect with a wide range of people. And often on Facebook, you don't have to worry about them being not necessarily who they are because they have driver's license. They have different ways of verification on Facebook. In fact, I remember on Facebook at one point, I was trying to see if I can make an extra account just to use it as a particular, way of giving myself conference calls between my iPad and my phone if I needed to reach a trade something with myself. So I try to do something like that, just so I can pass back like, a phrase or something, copy and paste, kind of like a clipboard, and it would let me. And that was interesting to me. I didn't necessarily appreciate it at the time, but over time I did appreciate it because I saw it for what it actually was. This was an opportunity to increase security and have more secure tactics. We know with Facebook in the past that there has been some hesitation due to information. So what I like about it now is it seems to be a great way to communicate with people as long as you are smart about where you're sending your information. So I always tell people to be very careful about information in the first place. That's not necessarily exclusive to Facebook, but that's exclusive to anywhere that you're doing business or putting some of your information, to be careful about that. So keep that in mind. Okay. So next, a great way for you to form a community online would be a Reddit. Now, Reddit has specific forums where you can ask questions similar to Quora and even Pinterest. And these three guys, or you can call them gals, whichever you prefer, are great ways for you to communicate with other people that have similar like-minded interests and questions. I really like these questions. I think that they provide a great deal of insight, and a lot of people can give you their not only perspective, but they can also give you their information that they gathered about these particular things. So you want to look into these things as much as possible, best you can. And hopefully when you are communicating with people in these groups, you can take your time and find ways where you can maximize the information you're getting by looking into the forum, searching, and trying to find ways to answer some of these questions so that you could really take advantage of the opportunities that are there. Okay. Now, furthermore, when it comes to some of these things, such as online community, you want to make sure that with online community, you're really trying to focus on the idea of it being online, but you can still form bond. Now, if you form bonds with some of these people, you want to make sure that you're very careful, that you're not being too trusting, particularly if you don't know them, but you can still form a bond. You don't have to be necessarily scared or worried that you won't actually get the proper information. You can fact check it. You can have multiple people in a web of a group that can kind of help fact check to keep everything accountable. These are good ways for you to be online and kind of blend in with the online opportunities without necessarily missing out with fear of potentially running into a problem. So online can be pretty scary at times, but it's a great way to learn more information. In fact, most of the biohacking information is going to be hard to find out by local in-person education. A lot of this stuff is going to be online via vehicles such as YouTube or Facebook, or like I said, Reddit, Pinterest, Quora. Those are all very popular areas and places where you can get your information and meet like-minded people who can point you in the right direction and also give you an update on their experiences and how that has affected them. So keep all that in mind. Okay, let's also talk a little bit about when to start biohacking. Someone once said the best time to start is yesterday, which is a great saying. Someone else said the best time to start is now. Obviously, it sounds cliche, but if you don't start, then you're just going to keep postponing it. There really isn't a good time or a bad time to start. You really just want to dive in as soon as you can. That's feasible. So people get hung up on doing it the proper way or the right way. What we recommend is to at least dip your toe in and get in the water somewhat. Some people will recommend you jump in. I think that's a great idea if you have it as a feasible option. If that's not something that's feasible, and what I mean by feasible, meaning is it something that's going to make you crash and burn, then it's probably not the best plan for you. But if you can dip a toe in and do it smart, strategic, particularly with a guide or a mentor, you might be able to keep a long-term habit and routine going. And that's what we would hope that you can do, is keep some sort of long-term habit or routine. So keep that in mind when you're going into your biohacking, that surrounding yourself in a community, whether that's in person or online, and understanding that you don't have to go all or nothing, but you want to get started as soon as possible. Those are going to be very popular and ideal ways for you to benefit from biohacking and to get going with it. Finally, biohacking during the holidays can be a little tricky. There's a lot of extra food, sweet treats, and whatnot. So you want to at least make some compromise. What I recommend in that case is to watch your times that you load on your carbs or your sugars, particularly before bed. This is something that I have to keep an eye on myself. Another thing that you can do is keep a strong eye on your water intake. Make sure your water intake looks very thorough and you're getting saturated enough with water, hydration. Try to focus on your sleep as much as possible. If you're not getting quality sleep, look into breathing, meditation. Things of that nature can be very helpful in supplementation, as far as you may not get enough sleep, but with meditation, you can get a little bit of supplementation of rest and relaxation of the mind. If you can shut your mind off a little bit, that can help you promote your cells to a state of recovery and your brainwaves to a state of recovery, so that you can biohack your body just that much more, as if more so than if you didn't do any of these techniques. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got some good tips from it. We ask that you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. If you have any further questions, definitely reach out and ask. And in our opinion, if you have someone local that can help you, go ahead and reach out to them. See if you can team up with them, get a community with them. Again, if that's not possible, take a look into online. Take a look into the tips that we told you, and we're always here as well. So be well, and we will talk to you soon.